This is the podcast, not an interview. This is a conversation. No gimmicks, just reasons. 84 reasons. Come holler at me. What up, my good people? I am being true. This is 84 Reasons. No games, no gimmicks, just reasons. And each week I sit down with either current or my guest today is former Florida Gators doing big things. I mean, my next guest, man, I regret the fact I never had a chance to meet this man in person. That's gonna come to an end here real soon. But listen, had to deal with injuries at his time in Florida, but two-time national champion, second team All-SEC. That boy even played shooting guard for them Florida guys. I said, try to do it all, but now doing something that I think most players would love to do. Listen, just coached his alma mater, Hawthorn High School, to its first 1A Florida State champion. Also coached the girls to a state championship in basketball, runner-up in football 2020-2021. He is the great Cornelius Ingram. What's going on today, Cornelius?
What's up, man? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Let's just jump right to it. I mean, obviously, we still a couple of days removed, not too many days removed from you winning the state championship. What is that like? Because you a guy that played at Hawthorn, which is, I mean, I didn't even realize how close Hawthorn was to Gainesville. I'm like, well, dude, it's like you go about 10 miles this way. That's how.
Yeah.
Talk about playing at Hawthorn, being from Hawthorn, and helping y'all get back to the promised land.
Yeah, man. For me, of course, it was extremely special. When I was coming through high school, I think we were 2A at the time, which was still one of the smaller divisions in the state of Florida. But we were playing like powerhouses like North Florida Christian. Ernie Sims was there at that time. Trinity Christian, who's nationally ranked every year now out of Jacksonville. So I never won a playoff football game. And I was recruited to play everywhere. I was recruited to play both sports. So you're talking about a lot of attention on Hawthorn, me being the key player, but I never won a playoff football game. So not only myself, but my offensive coordinator, which is my older brother, he played here. Probably like 5 or 6 other coaches on staff played here, and they've never won a playoff football game. So for us to continue to make these runs in the playoffs year in and year out, it feels like we're playing. Of course, it's a smaller community, so when we're playing on Friday night, everything shuts down. So for us to win this state championship, it was huge for not only our football program, but probably most important, our community, because at least 5 years ago, we were on the verge of being shut down. Our school was a D letter grade right when I got into coaching, and we had to perform. And I think the football team kept the morale of the school up because we started the season fast, kept everyone motivated. So you're talking about a school who probably should have been closed down, competing for state championships year in and year out now. So it was big, man. This state championship meant a lot to a lot of people from Hawthorn.
You went from a volunteer coach to being named the head coach in 2014. You talk about where the school was compared to where the school is now. When did that coaching bug hit you? Because a lot of times, most players that become coaches say, "Man, I didn't grow up wanting to be no coach. It kind of chose me." Was that your claim?
That's exactly what happened, man. That's exactly what happened. It chose me. I think the AD at the time, asked me about, being the coach. I was like, nah, I had no idea I would be coaching. But, of course, I knew I had a purpose with young people. And I knew that was one of the gifts that God blessed me with. And even when I wasn't ready to be a coach, I knew that coaching role would be more important to a lot of people's lives than just me saying, "Oh, no, I'm not going to coach because I haven't been a coach before." So it was something that needed to be done, even though I wasn't ready at the time, and I felt like I wasn't ready. But that coaching realm kind of matured me as a man. I had a lot more understanding of what these kids go through day in and day out. So it definitely chose me, and I'm glad it did, because it's been special, man. Ever since I walked out on that field, being able to be on campus and see my kids every single day, whether they're basketball players who play for me or football guys, So this is a special place, man. I don't think it's not too many places like here. So I love what I do every single day.
Coaching the girls basketball team is obviously going to be different all the way around. Obviously, you get to bring the discipline factor, you get to bring the hard work factor, but you're dealing with the young ladies. How much do they help you coach football?
Oh, they help me coach football a lot. For example, they're my water girls. They're my water girls all year. So even when we're on the sidelines on Friday nights, they see how competitive I am. They see how hard I coach. And then there's times where we've had practice over, Thanksgiving break or whatever, and they'll come out and help with the water, and they'll head back to the school, or they'll go inside the gym and start stretching on their own, because they know, well, once he get out, he'll come straight in the gym with me. So we kind of got this routine going. It's definitely different, of course, from coaching guys, but I think my state championship team consists of probably 12 young ladies, and maybe 2 of them had their father at home with them. So the things I talk to them about, life lessons, help those girls become a family.
No, I was just gonna say, Cornelius, you are, man, 2-time national champion from Hawthorn, played there, brother played there, offensive coordinator. So now them coaches on the other sideline, they already feel a tight way, because one, they say, okay, we got the former Florida Gators, NFL tight end, national champion now, but your teams are good. Because a lot of times they say, well, we know he knows offense, we know he knows the game. What was it getting those young men and even young ladies to buy in? Because like you said, hey, man, once a competitor, always a competitor. How did you get them to buy in?
Well, for us, man, and trust me, these aren't sad stories, but a lot of the kids that I coach has been through so much adversity. And one of the things I would always tell people, when you can get a kid who's been through everything to buy in, you got something special. And I think that has worked for us. I let my hair down with my guys, with my girls. When we lift, I let them play music as long as it's clean. I get on TikTok with them. I kid you not, Ben. If they have something going on outside of sports at the school, if they're in a play or they have something special to do at church and they're on program, I attend. I really show up, and because at the end of the day, these kids don't trust a whole lot of people. So, and I'm not doing that to get them to play hard for me. I'm doing that because they need me in their lives. So, of course, when you start talking ball and you've been with them through something, or you talk them through something, they believe and they trust in you. So, of course, the easy part is getting maximum effort out of them once it comes to athletics. So I let my hair down. I get on their levels, and I have great relationships. I have great relationships with my players, and I'm highly respected. So that definitely goes a long way. But these kids, most of them, they just want to hear, good job, or I love you, or you can do it. That's it, and really mean it. And I think I've been able to do that over the years. So that's why we've had a lot of success.
The voice you can hear right now is Cornelius Ingram, 2-sport athlete at the University of Florida, 2-time national champion, second team All SEC, but now head coach in women's basketball. Obviously, just won the state championship for them Hawthorn boys. But you said something that I think is incredible. What is it about coaching that did nobody tell you? Because when it comes to sport, man, it's already in us. What was it about coaching? You go home and you close the door, you go, dude, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
I kid you not. After the game, Saturday night, I probably ended up doing maybe 10, 12 interviews on the field. And most of them, I shared that. I really believe God had a purpose for me to come back home. And I never questioned God. But when I got to Philadelphia, man, I was probably one of the most talked about guys on the team. And I was killing it. And I retore the same ACL, and then, I was trying to get healthy. I was trying to rush back. It was so much going on. I feel like God had me destined to be here. And the way things are going, I know for a fact it is true. The response I get from kids, and you're talking about regular students as well. You're talking about a white kid or an 8th grader or a 12th grader. It doesn't matter who it is, and God has blessed me with a gift that a lot of people don't have. And I really understand now what he was doing in my life. And I'm so grateful, man, because a lot of these kids, again, they don't have some of the same opportunities as others. But we take advantage of ours when we get them. And it starts with not only myself. I have a wonderful coaching staff behind me. I have some great supporters around our town. And I get to do it my way. And that's also big.
When you get approached to be the head coach, like you said, you're a volunteer. I'm a part of this group. I'm not leading this group. Then AD come to you and say, Cornelius, I need to talk to you. You like, what's going on? What was that like? Because obviously you love you getting that bug by, hey man, I'm just throwing myself in this thing, man, loving it. But what is that conversation like when, man, we had some conversations behind the scenes and we picked you to be our next head coach?
It was actually kind of funny because when I was approached at that time, I was running my own fitness center. So, I was kind of traveling, running my own fitness center, had no idea I would be even coaching. So even when I was volunteering, it was more so one of those things where I kind of stick my head in, and then I'll be out of town or I stand on the sideline. But one particular practice, and my brother has always been the offensive coordinator here for a while. Then he's also the head boys basketball coach. So, but anyway, I asked him when I came out to practice, and I was a little late. I said, "Yo, where are all the kids?" I kid you not. He was like, "Oh well, 2K came out, so they went to Best Buy or to these game stores to pick up a game." This is the year I was volunteering. Right away, man. In my mind, I'm like, "Yo, ain't no way a player would try me if I'm the head coach." That's what I was saying in my head. And I respect the head coach at the time. But in my mind, I'm like, yo, ain't no way. To this day, if there's a doctor's appointment or dentist appointment, whatever it is, my kids would almost go during school so they don't miss practice. And I understand if they have to miss practice for certain reasons and doctor's appointments, but that's how serious it is, and that's how far our football program has come.
So when the kid's mom said, you got a doctor's appointment, be like, Mom, you're gonna have to get that during the day. Why? Because I'm not dealing with coach by saying, oh, so you had all these, you can't go on the week, you can't go on Saturday, can't go on. Yes. I need you out here, bro. We don't miss Monday through Thursday and expect to jump out there Friday night.
Yeah, and even with, I think being from here also helps as well, because the kids, they can't lie to me. I know aunt, uncle, I played ball with someone, or I know someone in their family, and it's easy for me, hey, you saw such and such today? Oh, yeah, coach, he was a little tired. Tell him he better show up or he can turn my stuff in. And that was really my first year, and they didn't try me like years before. But now I'm talking about, man, we have kids, and it's hard to do, but we have kids give up their entire Thanksgiving break because we've been playing the day after Thanksgiving in like the third round of the playoffs the last 3-4 years. And in our state, around here, they're off for the whole week. So, they can be out of town. They can be in another state with family members. Like, I haven't had a kid leave for a Thanksgiving break yet because they know how important the game is. And now we praise them, and we definitely let them know how special it is to be able to do something like that, because a lot of people, other places, they don't care. They're taking their child and they're gone for that entire week. So our kids have made tremendous sacrifices over the last 3-4 years, and it's definitely has paid off.
Cornelius, if you never tear your ACL, you never tear it in college, you never tear it in the pros, do you end up back at Hawthorn if your career goes the way you wanted to go?
No. I kid you not, Ben. Look, I got chill bumps. You just said that because one of my my pregame speeches, I normally try to find some way to motivate my guys before we take the field before the game, and one of them this year was actually that. I said, if I would have made the money I was supposed to make and drafted where I was supposed to get drafted and have the career I thought I could have, I say I wouldn't be in Hawthorne. I wouldn't be, and I'm a straight up and down guy, and I think that's why my kids really believe in me. And there's some come in my office, hey coach, I'm gonna play at Florida. Nah, man, you sleep for 2 weeks straight. You won't even work out. You won't go to class consistently. Like, nah, you ain't going there. So even when it stings, I can't lie to my kids, because when they leave and they come back, I love when they say, Coach, you told me so. And not to say I was trying to prove a point, right? We're trying to teach them life lessons so they can be outstanding young men and young women in society. And that's what it's about. And I've coached some, Ben. I coached some outstanding kids to the point where a lot of people get upset with my sideline because all my former players will come stand on the sideline. Their hair is cut. They're smelling good. They have on their Letterman jacket. They're either in school, they're working, they're in the military, and that's girls or boys that I've coached, and that's what it's about. And you can tell the effect you have on people's lives if they're willing to come back around you. And from the looks of it, our sideline, they're full every Friday. Oh, it's crazy.
The one thing that we was never told is, when we transitioned to being former players, was how we inspire our teammates to want to do things like coach, like do, media. Because, Cornelius, when I see you, listen, I say, every time I see Cornelius, man, he's smiling online, man. He's in the gym, he's on the field, but you just being you, like, look, man, who I am as a person, who I am as a man, who I am as a coach, I'm going to give them all they got. But my credibility makes it so that when I speak, that I'm not pulling this from somewhere that you ain't never heard. I'm sorry. There's nothing against that team down there in South Florida, nothing against that team over there on the Panhandle. But when you went to the flagship university in Florida, and listen, y'all was the dynasty years. Y'all was doing it. That has to mean something to you, knowing that, look, man, if I thought you can go to Florida, I know Vernell Brown. I can call Vernell. But it's like I'm going to send you over there, man. I can't even get you to stay awake. The teachers, right now, all you have is your athletic ability, and I'm letting you know you're probably going to be out here working sooner than you thought because you're taking this whole thing for granted.
Yep. And that's what happened, man. It's so many guys that I've had the opportunity to coach over the years, and I'm very clear when I talk to them. I'm like, yo, you can be taking care of your parents in a major way in 5 or 6 years, or you can have a regular job, and there's nothing wrong with that. I say, but you can't tell me you want to take care of your parents, right? You haven't watched no film, right? You're not putting anything good on film. You're not doing anything in the classroom. I can't lie to these kids, and I won't. And I think they respect me even more because I give them honesty all the time. And again, I told you earlier, I let my hair down. Like my son has a cousin that plays for me, and my son is my quarterback. And all my players have been to my house or so they've seen me outside of my coaching element. And I ask them all the time, hey, such and such, when you came to that, I'm the same way, right? I laugh, I joke, I have a good time, like so. So it was like, and I always tell them, man, when you're real, like, and you're just being yourself, you don't have to worry about pretending. You don't have to worry about, well, I got to act this way around such and such and this way around the other person. Like, nah, just be yourself. And I'm very confident in my own skin. I'm very confident in everything I do in my life. And I'm just a confident person all around. So I think that actually generates through my football program and my girls basketball. I love confident people. I really do. And I understand it's certain issues that go on in life, and it's reasons why certain people are a certain way. But when they're around me, it's gonna be a lot of positive energy, good vibes, because that's what I'm about.
And I was just gonna say, when it comes to the
Yep.
individuality part, right? That's something that, listen, I love going to Florida and I love playing in the NFL, but I realized, dude, ain't no individuality over here. No, bro, this is uniformity. I want you to do exactly now, like you saying when you telling people, I want you to come to my house because I'm me wherever, and the grocery store. If I'm at an event, and you said something too. We always know that the young men grow. You probably the only authority figure, male figure they got. But you said only 2 out of the 12 girls got dads at home talking. That's the aspect of you saying, listen, if this is how I am a man amongst men, man. This is how men act. I'm gonna say what I feel. I'm gonna respect everybody, but I ain't dealing with no nonsense, man. No nonsense will come through this door. And I don't think people understand. With your son being your quarterback, I don't think they understand how much scrutiny that boy's under. They be like, look, I will pull you. Just because you got my last name, you already know what it is.
Yo, Ben, I kid you not. I kid you not. I wore number 7 here, and they retired it once I was at Florida. Maybe I was in my sophomore year at Florida, so I came back. They retired my football jersey and my basketball jersey, and like I said, I wore number 7. I took the jersey out of retirement just so my son could play in it. Now he's 6'5", almost 6'6", 15-year-old, and like built. So what I was doing was I was so caught up on his stature, and I was coaching him so hard to the point where I wasn't taking my coaching hat off at home. And I'm telling you, this is what coaching has done for me. It also helped me parent, because I could be, kind of still reflecting on a girls' game, and CJ will be riding home, and I'll be like, hey, you better not ever shoot that shot out the corner like such and such on my team did. And he kind of looking at me like, yo, I didn't play tonight. So it helped me parent, and I'm so competitive. It helped me parent because he's actually a special player, but he's probably even more special person because of how he demands the huddle, how all the guys just grasp to him. He's a special kid, and you're talking about playing maybe 50 or 60% all year because of a bad ankle. Like, he shouldn't have played in the state championship game. He re-injured that same ankle the week before. Like, so just being able to coach him and see him when he showed flashes, I'm like, yo, I was doing that as a senior, and he's doing it as a sophomore already. So that's the luxury I have, man. I get to coach my son at my former high school. He's wearing my number. It's just a special time in my life, and probably just an incredible feeling, man.
Cornelius, the hardest thing for us to do is to change our identity. We always gonna be what we were to certain people. I get it, but either we gonna change it by what we're doing, or people are gonna give us they're gonna give us these I guess these I want to say different monikers that come with us. You are a full-blown coach, but I gotta ask. My son is 13, right? He's in the 8th grade, right? He plays football, and it's crazy. But you coach your son. Like you said, I'm the coach. But are there times you going, that's my freaking kid? Like, that is mine. Like, obviously, they think that we want a boy. So, and maybe this is different for you. I said, listen, man, my son, he got my name, but I want him to be him. But that's easy for me to say because I'm not him. He's not me. Do you sometimes your son walk by, you go stand up, you like, boy, you really him? Like, yeah, man.
All the time.
Like, is it crazy to you?
It's crazy. One game in particular, we were playing Union County. CJ Spiller went to Union County. Gerard Warren went to Union County. So they're like a really good football program. And then they had a special season this year. So anyway, long story short, we were playing them. We were down 21-0 at halftime. And CJ seemed a little chill and laid back. He had some misreads and misthrows. And at halftime, we normally go in the back of the end zone instead of going in the locker room. I get on my knee, and we're almost nose to nose, and the whole team is watching me. And I told him, I said, yo, you need to pick it up because I know what's in you. I say, I'm in you. So these moments, you're built for. 21-0, Ben. We end up winning the game 21-28. He went out there and ran 2 touchdowns. He threw 1 touchdown. Then he threw the second game-winning touchdown to end the game. So yeah, I go through it all the time. And then, of course, after that game, the way we celebrate and the way we talk, I'm like, yo, that's why I was in your chest. Because I know what's in you. Like, I believe in you. You're destined for this moment. And just a quick, backdrop, I had a Division I quarterback played in the state championship game with us last year. He transferred this past summer. So CJ going into the season, CJ was supposed to be the backup. So you're talking about a 14-year-old kid at that time, like, yo, you got the keys to the offense. It's your team now. The quarterback left. So everybody, oh, he's too young. Oh, he's not ready. And to win the state championship, and he had some big games for us this year. And he played injured through half of them and never complained. Like, he's built for it. And so those are the moments that I'm more proud about more than anything. See him rise to the occasion when his back was against the wall, going through adversity and not flinch. Like, those are the kind of people, when they're done playing football, they're going to be successful. And he's not the only one. I have a team full of those. This is how special this team is. I have a team full of those. I'll take these guys anywhere with me, because they're built for every moment.
Listen, I represent the great state of Georgia for high school football. I will bow to the state of Florida. Y'all, high school football is, my God. But it ain't but so many y'all gonna say we want it all. That is prestige, especially in a state that has 20 million people, and I don't even know how many high school football players. But to know, hey man, the 1A state champion resides in Hawthorn.
Yep.
13-2.
Yep.
Your son, listen, what is that victory formation like? Like you like CJ, victory formation, and you going, bro, listen to me, man. My heart can only take so much. And to know, man, runner up, my quarterback that I thought was gonna be my quarterback transferred.
Yes.
So you got to go. I got to go to my son and say, CJ, change the plans.
Yes.
You're gonna be the starter. With everything that happened this year, good, bad, up, down 21, winning 28-21, to win it all. See, I mean, Cornelius, what is that feeling like to say, bruh? Well, it started way back in the summer, and here we are. Man, what is that feeling like, man?
It feels like probably the most priceless thing you can have or witness. Because not only our quarterback, and I told you earlier how I would always try to find ways to motivate my guys. Oh, I had it on point. You talking about the biggest game of all of our lives, especially the players. My pre-game message was all the adversity we had went through. My quarterback wasn't the only one who transferred. We had almost 6 or 7 kids transfer. We had a couple kids who struggled to get into school here. We had 3 starters flip over in a vehicle without a seatbelt on and come out of it without a scratch. We had the state trying to move our playoff game because of the helmets that was thrown from the opposing team the week before, and they were scared about everyone's safety. I had 2 players' dad pass away. One passed away on the way riding to Tallahassee to play in the state championship game. Another kid dad passed away at the end of the season. These kids didn't miss a day of practice. Because when you really form a brotherhood, that's who you want to be around through all that adversity. Oh man, I had these were in my notes for my pregame message, and I told my team when I was finished, and there were some more things in there, but I told them when I was finished, I said it's already been done, man. So we just gonna go out and play. It's already ours. Because if it was meant for us not to be here, we wouldn't be here. And I say everybody's here, healthy, alive, in their right minds. I say this is ours, man. So we're gonna relax and play some Hawthorn football, and we're gonna get our first state championship. And that's exactly what happened. I think our kids played freely. They played with a clear conscience, and they were able to just fly around. And it meant everything. And again, I told you even some of the other things earlier about where the school was at one particular time. I've had every job offer to even start my coaching college career, bigger high schools. Like, God had a purpose for me to be here right now. And I'm extremely thankful and grateful because I have some really good football players who are also great kids. And then I have outstanding men who coach on my coaching staff along with me.
Man, rules without relationship definitely lead to rebellion. This man has built the relationship. And when they see the way you coach your son, they be like, bruh, if he talking to CJ like that, I'm gonna just ball my little note up in the trash. Then you look at the fact that you saying, no, the girls, my girls basketball won the state championship, so I don't slack nowhere. And then my brother is the offensive coordinator. He coaches the guys. I coach the girls basketball. My son, is the quarterback. I had to unretire number 7. If you want to know how I was, it's about 20 miles that way. It's up on the walls. If you want to see that, that's forever. But more importantly, man, I'm a head coach that chose me. And it's when you can turn down those other offers, when you let people know, listen, man, I think it's crazy that they're going to wait on me to show what I can do here. They want to come snatch me the benefit, though. No, I'm from Hawthorn, man. I can't turn my back on these kids because that means my son will be like, Daddy, you going to go up? No, bro. I ain't going over there. I ain't going to leave you behind. But more importantly, Cornelius, when people see you, man, they see life, boy. They see the life in you. I mean, freaking Tate Casey, Vernell, like former Gators doing big things. Like when I see Vernell, I see life in that boy, man. And I know he got Vernell Jr. He's coming out somewhere in game from,
really good player.
I mean, that whole area from Gainesville High, Buchholz, PK Young, Hawthorn, that little 3-5-2 area is crazy. But then you said, but we had to play Trinity Christian. For those who don't know, the hardest hitting white boys in the state of Florida live in Jacksonville. They go to Trinity Christian High School. They pray all week. And they will smack you on Friday night. But Cornelius, for me, listen. From me to you, man, I'm proud of you, man. You doing it in a way to where I always say this. If I was going to be a coach, I'd be like you. Because every time I see Cornelius, man, he's having fun, man. He's enjoying it. But you're the reason why I don't do it. Because I'm like, hell, if I ain't winning no championship, they're gonna be like, I ain't going. I'm my kid in Florida. I'm gonna send him to Hawthorn. I don't want to deal with them parents, man. I know how it is dealing with them parents. You should have called this. You should have called. What you mean? Y'all only complain when it don't work, right? When it don't work, I'm the worst coach. When it do work, but man, listen, keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm proud of you, man. It's only the beginning. Now they already had to deal with all those others. But I said, man, now Hawthorn winning. We already had to deal with them. And hey, bro, we can't listen. 1A. I don't know who else in y'all. Union City, Gerard Warren, big money, CJ Spiller up there in Clemson.
Yeah.
Hey man, y'all got it. It better be a CJ Spiller Jr. because Khalid's got his son out there, man. But keep doing what you're doing, Khalid. Boy, I appreciate you taking the time. Man. And listen, this ain't gonna be the only time. Listen, basketball season is coming so here. We're gonna have you back on here after basketball season.
Back on, man. I love to be back on. I appreciate you. I love what you're doing as well. I definitely do.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. All right.